What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Takara Tomy Transformers MPG Super Ginrai, or as we know him in the US, Powermaster Optimus Prime. So this is number 9 in the MPG line, the Masterpiece Gatai. The MP line will be ending with the MP60, which is the toy deco of this. And I'm just going to explain this here up front because a lot of people have asked questions, especially on Facebook, about the difference between the two. So MP60 comes with the cab, just this part, but done with the toy deco. MPG-09 comes with the cab and the trailer, so you can form Super Ginrai. And you do get these stickers here, these decals. So if you want to put these on the trailer, you can make the trailer look like the toy deco to go with the MP60 cab. But I didn't get the MP60 cab, I just got the MPG-09. It is a pretty good looking trailer. A lot of the controversy around this figure is its size, and later I'll bring in some figures for comparison. It is smaller than what we've come to expect in the MP line. MPG seems to be, a slightly smaller scale, but it does look really nice. You got translucent blue windows all the way around. Nice painted diecast. This whole front section is diecast with red paint. Chrome for the bumper, or for the grill, and then silver paint for the bumper and the headlights. Yellow painted lights down there. Chrome for the smokestacks. You have some painted panels here. Some of the blue does show through, but overall it is pretty good looking. Silver wheels with black for the tires. It is plastic, not rubber. Yeah, nice Autobot logo there. This trailer itself is painted, so it's got a silver finish. The stripe is painted, and then the Autobot logo is painted there. Here's the bottom. You can see some parts. On the back, it looks like this. And I'll show you the features there later. Overall, pretty good looking trailer. You can stand the trailer on its own if you pull down on these little stabilizers. You can display it on its own. So that's a nice touch there. We do get a bunch of features with this guy. So starting off with the Powermaster. And of course you can take the Powermaster and plug it in right here. And it clips on the front. There's two little clips. It's not the tightest, but it does go in there. And he actually comes in robot mode, so I'm just going to show you how to transform him. Unpeg the legs. We're going to rotate them out, fold out the feet, and then bring the legs down. And there's your Powermaster. He's got some paint on him. Beige, blue, yellow, red, and then silver for the knees. Here's the back. Of course, it's got the engine there. Arms are on a ball joint, so it gets up to there. You can rotate forward to there. Nothing on the head. Legs will kick up to there. Back to there. And then out to the side. You have a little past 90 at the knee. And then the toe can tilt forward and backward. You can't angle the toe, but you can get him stood up. There you go. You can also put him in the trailer, but I just want to show you also get this smaller version. And that one's painted and detailed nicely. This is so you can put it inside as a driver. So let's take care of this. So if you come to the back here, you can open up these doors. And you can pretend it's a trailer with, a ramp, but obviously the middle isn't open. If you come to here, you undo these two pieces here, you can get this part open, but there's nothing really to see there, so it's not really worth the effort to open that up because there's nothing underneath to actually see. So let's just close that back up. But you can take the Powermaster here and stick him in there, either side, and then you can close up the door and he can ride along in there. And then if we come to the cab here, And I recommend a spudger for just this one part right here. Just open up that panel. But get that out of the way on both sides. And then you can lift forward and up on this. So we're going to basically unpeg this piece. This whole piece is die cast other than the center. It's pretty hefty and it is painted, so just be careful with that die cast piece. But if you go to the inside here, you'll see there's a little slot right there. So if you take this guy, he's got a little tab on the front. It'll tab in. You can put them on either side. I'm going to put them on the driver's side, but you can put them on this side too. For those of us who are from international, people driving the other side of the road. You can push that in, it tabs in right there, and then it tabs in on both sides. So make sure those tabs are making their way in on both sides. And if you come to the bottom here, there's actually 2 tabs on this red piece that are going into this white crotch piece. So make sure that pushes in. You can see like it actually pegs in there. Then you can close this back up. Make sure these white tabs underneath are plugged in. And now we've got the Powermaster Ginrai in there. And that's pretty cool. I like that they gave you that. Since the other one doesn't fit, although I do wish it was bigger. But since the other one doesn't fit, they did give you this so you can do that little effect. And that's pretty cool. And of course you can have him driving around with the trailer. It does roll nicely with the heft of it. And you can turn, this guy turns pretty well for the cab. So pretty nice there. We can also, of course, mount the weapons. So first of all, we get these bigger guns, just done in black plastic. They have a peg on the bottom. Those are going to plug in to the pegs up here. So just get those plugged in there. And then we can take these guns, the smaller guns, which are for the Ginrai core robot, open up the handle, little slot right here. They're going to plug into the tab on the top of this gun. So get that plugged in. And then same on this one. Go ahead and open that up. Get that tabbed in. Then we can take these. And these will plug in right here, as you'd expect for this character. And by the way, these, they're hollow inside. I do find this kind of ugly and unnecessary. They didn't need to do that. Just fill in the plastic. It's not a retail figure. But you don't really see it, so I'm okay with it. I'm okay with that being hollow since it's hidden down there. But there you go. You can do this. You also get some blast effects. They're really nice looking. They've got paint on it. A little bit of yellow paint here and then this translucent orange. And these can plug in kind of anywhere. You can plug them in there. You can plug them in up here into the guns. And you can kind of do whatever you want. I think it looks best on these side guns, but you have options there. We also get these effects, and kind of meant for robot mode, but you can use it here if you want. You can take off this little adapter piece, and that'll allow you to plug in these to any of the guns, really. So if you want, you can have them driving around with this. It is a little strange to have these effects. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime and the Magic Square version of Optimus Prime. And obviously not going to fit in well with the Masterpiece scale, but I did want to show that it's definitely a way smaller cab. But even bringing it in next to the Studio Series 86, I want to show you the cabs and trailers separately. So for the cab, it comes in a little bit shorter. The Studio Series 86 a little bit thinner as far as the width of the cab, and then lengthwise comes up to about here on Studio Series 86. So cab definitely feels a little small. Doesn't fit with Masterpiece, obviously. You could maybe make it work with your truck scale. For the trailer is about the same size as the Studio Series 86. So about the same height, about the same length, actually a little bit longer. And then width-wise, maybe a little bit wider. So the trailer definitely would work with the Chug line, retail line, but the cab just feels a little bit small. All right, now let's get him transformed, and we're going to start off with the robot mode for the cab and the base mode here. So let's go ahead and remove the weapons. You can just unplug those, set those aside for now, and we'll unplug these and set those aside for now. Unplug the trailer, and we can just put it up on the hitches just for fun, and we'll work on this guy. So starting out with this guy, we're going to undo the legs. So they're actually tabbed in right here, so you're going to untab them from there and bring these down, and it'll unpeg from each other. You can fold in these two pieces to hide those away. Come to the bottom, we're going to pull down on the feet, and then we're going to pull out on the toe. And then same on this one, pull down and then pull out on the toe. And now he can stand up. Next, we'll take care of the upper body. So we're going to start kind of the same way. We're going to open up this panel right here. Get that out of the way. We can undo this panel right here. And actually, I recommend you leave the blue panel open a little bit to give yourself some space. And this panel right here is going to get unclipped from here. It's tricky because it's pegged forward into here, so you have to sort of lift it back and then pull it out. And in the instructions, it doesn't really talk about that. So same on this side, leave this blue panel open a little bit, lift back and up. So you should have those two red panels sticking out. Once you do that, now we can pull this arm out from here. So it's tabbed in right here between these two panels, and it's tabbed in on the inside. So you want to undo that peg right there. And actually, we're going to pull this whole cab section out, tab in there and there. And now we can pull these arms out. So pull down on this and get it untabbed from there. And then work its way around this piece here. And then we can fold that up. All right, same on this one. We're going to pull down on this and get that out of the way. On the back here, we're going to click into place that elbow piece. Close up that panel now. And we're going to rotate this so that this tab goes into this front piece here. And we're also going to fold this smokestack over. Get this plugged in here. It's on a double hinge, so make sure you fold that up properly. Come to the inside here, and this panel, this little panel is going to fold in and hide into there. Fold that back up. Make sure this is pegged in. So it should look like that. And then come to the front, we can open up this hand, fold out the hand, and then close that back up. And now you're going to do the same thing on this side. So here's how we're looking. We can rotate the waist 180 degrees. So you get the crotch in the front. Come to the back here, we're going to lift up on this headpiece. We can remove the Powermaster Ginrai from there. This will come up. We're going to rotate this around, bring that back down, fold the head forward. So we have it like this. And then we can come to the back here and close this up. This is just going to tab in to the back of his neck piece. So bring this down. And let's line all this up. It helps if you angle this up a little bit to get that back in there. And then you can give that a squeeze. Again, this is die cast going into plastic, so just be cautious with it. And almost there, we got to take care of these pieces. I recommend a spudger again for grabbing these pieces out of here. They're a little bit tough to get with at least my fingers anyway. So bring down that ab piece. It's just a cover piece for his front section. And then you're going to bring out another piece right here on the side. That one I seem to be able to reach in and grab it. And I do think it looks nice, but I don't know if it performs all that well. Let's go over the articulation since we're here. The head is on a rotating swivel, but it does get way back. Up to there, down to there. Rotates around. For the shoulders, you have a butterfly joint, that goes in and out there, just due to the way that transformation is. Shoulders will lift up to there. You can also lift this arm up, so you can get the arm all the way up to there, using both. There's a ratchet in there, soft ratchet. Rotation at the bicep, similar to the elbow, but it gets you the full bend due to the sculpt. The wrist itself can rotate up and down. You have a single pin for the fingers. They don't really do anything. They're just curled, but you can at least get the weapons in there. Sometimes these get a little bit on the loose side. I wish they would like lock in place or something would click into place, but they do work. I just wish they were a little bit more secure. And there's two ab crunches, one up here, and then there's one down here. It's actually ratcheted. You can see the ratcheted piece back there. So pretty good ab crunch there. For the hip skirts, you're going to lift up here. That'll release this hip skirt. You can kick the leg forward. The leg's on a drop-down hinge. So if you drop that down, you can get it up a little bit higher. It's a reverse drop-down. It's back to there. Things get a little wonky in this section. So just try to keep everything straight. Comes out to the side on a ratchet, soft ratchet. So I guess you can get up to there. Rotation at the thigh. It is a cut joint, not the biggest fan just because it breaks up the sculpt. But it does work. You have a double jointed knee. If you don't bend here, you would maybe assume it's a single joint. But if you break out this part here, then you can get the full double jointed knee. And he has a knee pad there. That does look nice. And then coming down to the waist, we have, or coming down to the foot, we have ankle tilt, forward and backward as well. And there you go. I do think the detent, the first detent on these legs could have stood to be a little bit not as wide out. So that's straight. That's the first detent. It does feel a little bit too far out, in my opinion, but it does work. Now for his accessories, we can use the smaller guns. It does have a tab there that'll fit into the hand. It's not the best fit. A little bit looser than I'd hope, but get that tabbed in there. It kind of pops out a little bit, to be honest. And you can't really close the fingers around either. So it's in there, it's just very gently in there, it pops out very easily. It also sits a little bit high in the hand just due to the way they designed the handle. So I wish this was done a little bit better, but he does have two of those, so if you want, you're going to have him double wielding the guns. And we can still use the blast effects here, although don't know if you'd want to because they're kind of big, but you can't do that. We can also use those other effects that I showed you earlier. We can unpeg it from there and then plug that into the gun. It does start getting a little heavy for his hand, but you do that. We can also take these out and use this. It's a 5mm peg, so that will fit into his hand. So really any gun, 5mm peg will fit. I do think these are kind of the ugliest. They're swirly gray plastic, which is a pet peeve of mine, but it does work there. And lastly, you can take these and plug this adapter piece back on. And if you open up the hand, you can use the adapter piece to peg it in. And that is cool. I like that they gave you this. Good idea. I just wish things would stay in place a little bit better. All right, and for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the Studio Series 86 Prime and the Magic Square version of Optimus Prime, and about the same height as the Studio Series Prime. So if you are putting this into a chug collection, I think in this mode, it's definitely going to look pretty good. Masterpiece, though, definitely not going to work. I'm going to put a scale image here that I have. So this guy should be about the same size as Optimus Prime. And he is about the same size as this Studio Series. So in the chug scale, it'll probably work. I don't think it's going to work in the Masterpiece scale. All right, and before we get the trailer transformed into the base mode, I just want to mention you can plug the Powermaster here into robot mode. The only problem is when you push this in, you can see a little red tab sticks out. So as you push it down, it will reject the Powermaster. So it doesn't really work that well in this mode. It works better in the vehicle mode. But let's set this guy aside and take care of this guy. So first you can fold in those pieces. Come to the back. We're going to open up these, which will allow us to open up this panel right here. And take this whole panel, bring this to the side, unpeg this panel from right here, is tabbed in right there, and just bring that back on both sides. That will allow you to unpeg this arms from here. Both are pegged into this panel. You can fold up these two blue panels and just leave this like this for now. Come down here, unpeg it from here. You can see there's a couple little pegs. And we can fold this back. Take this is going to accordion down to there. And then you're going to fold that panel up. All right. Bring the arm down. Rotate that out of the way. Then you can bring this up and get that pegged in on the top here. All right, so we're going to do the same thing on this side. All right, and so we're going to go to base mode. You can kind of see how it's going to become in robot mode. But come to the side here. We're going to take these hip skirts, fold those up on both sides, which will allow you to take the legs and fold them up like that. So they're flat. And you can fold the arms up straight. And make sure you get the legs flat. You're going to take this panel here. That's actually going to sit inside of here. And fold that all the way in. Take that in place. This will sit right underneath here. Then we can take the feet here. So you're going to unclip it from here. You're going to push up on this. Allow you to pull the foot out. Then you can flip this whole thing down. And it kind of clicks into place there. And then you can push that back in. All right. Same on this side. Push up on the wheels and push down on the foot. Rotate this piece down and then push that back in. All right, now that we have it like this, we can come to this side. Come to the back here, we're going to unpeg this panel and fold that down. You can see it makes a nice little ramp here. This will fold in and you can just kind of straighten that out. There's not really a thing for it, but come to these parts here, we're going to fold these, fold these down and then fold out these little ramps. Make sure these stay attached both sides. And then what would a base mode be without some guns? So we'll take these gray guns and those will plug in right here. We can take the bigger black guns and those will plug in right here, side of the arms. And in the instructions they don't really talk about what to do with these, but you can either plug them into the top of these. I think it looks better if you plug them right here. Just fold that up and then peg them in there. 2 sets of guns is better than 1 in my opinion. But you could do it however you wish. And then, of course, if you want some blast effects, we could plug those in. And now we can come to the back here and stand up this guy and have him operating or whatever. There you go. There is Super Ginrai in base mode. It is pretty cool. You can also take this, so get the legs kind of bent so they're facing outwards. And you can get the legs kind of around this. It's a little awkward, but you can sort of get him sitting around this. And then just plug that in here. And there you go. He's got somebody manning the guns. And if you want, you could take this guy, put him somewhere, I don't know. But not too bad of a base mode. It's just, I don't know how many people would use the base mode. Alright, now let's get him into the combined robot mode. So go ahead and we're going to take out all of these weapons that we previously installed. You can set aside the Powermaster. And we'll set this guy aside. Unfortunately, we have to bring him back almost all the way to vehicle mode. But this guy is close. So fold this up. Actually, fold in this panel. Fold this up. Fold in this panel. Fold that up. And we can come to the bottom here. Get this panel folded back up to his backpack. This is going to fold up to here. And sit right there. You can fold that up. This will come down, and this is what KFC needs to do. But basically, this will lock this entire thing on. Just get it lined up and get it pegged in right there. Bring the legs down, and the feet are already set, so you can just bring those out and angle those feet so he stands properly. Bring these arms down, and we're going to rotate the arm so you have this little panel right here. We can lift up on this panel, open that little panel on the front, flip the hand out, close that back up, close that up, and then rotate the elbow so it's to the front, so it looks like this. Alright, same on this side. I'll come to the top here, we're going to lift this panel out, so rotate that all the way up, and just let that sit there for now. Alright. And now we'll take care of this guy. So we have to get him basically all the way back into vehicle mode. Unlock these knees. And we do have to fold up the feet and collapse these down. And make sure you open up both tabs. But you're going to bring this back. We're going to fold this forward. So there's a little tab here. These are semi-fragile. I've heard that people have been breaking them. I haven't had an issue, but when you line these up, make sure you have both knees bent and just get it to the point where it fits in very comfortably. And you do have to peg the legs together, but once you get it lined up, it should go in nice and easy on both sides. And if it doesn't, like I said, adjust the knees so you have it. Make sure all of this is tabbed in too before you peg this in, because you don't want to adjust that after you've pegged it in. Here we go. Oh, and this one's not in. Okay. So if everything looks straight, right, it's lined up on both sides, all those tabs are in down here, those bottom part is pegged in, everything looks decent. Now we can plug it into here. So come to this, I'm going to slide this down. This is going to slide in. There's two slots for the smokestacks, and then there's two slots here for this hinge for this panel. And oh, I got to fold these back in before we put it in. But this hinge right here is going to slide down here. So it should look like this. You're going to line this up and just make sure everything's going in smoothly. If it's not going in smoothly, then you probably want to check it again. There we go. And it should slide down. So there's a tiny bit of the lip of the top of this truck sticking up. You're going to bring this panel down. Now, I had issues the first time. It was collided right here. So you want to just push back on this, or sorry, push forward on this so that can clear its way in. It's not the best thing, but once you get it clear, it shouldn't be colliding there. So get this all the way down as far as you can get it, and then peg it into the top here. And mine likes to pop up. You can see it's popping up. So I like to push down on the back there. Make sure this part on the top is pushed all the way down, and that'll help the front. It still likes to pop up, but that helps it stay a little bit better. All right, and the final step here, of course, is to add the Powermaster. So you can plug that in here. There's two little tabs that'll hold on. It's not the most secure, but it does fit in there. And there you have Super Ginrai or Powermaster Optimus Prime in combined mode. And it does look really good. Let's get in close. You can see some of the details. You got silver for the head crest, for the face, blue for the eyes. Nice Autobot tampos on the shoulders. All that detail on the truck cab comes through here. The blue paint here on this bottom piece, it does cover up pretty nicely. Unless you look up in, you don't really see, so that works out. Blue and red paint here on the crotch. Blue and red hands, which you can swap out. I'll show you that later. We have silver painted thighs, which I think is really nice. That's a nice touch by Takara. Come to the side, you have some gray plastic here, and on the back, there's swirly gray plastic on this backpack. It is accurate. I wish they didn't use swirly gray, but it is on the back, so I don't mind it as much. But overall, it's a very good looking version. Let's go over the articulation. The head is on a rotating swivel, so it goes up and down and rotates. There's an extra panel inside here, so if you lift up on that panel, you can see right there, there's an extra panel. So you can get him way down, which is important for a big character like this, a smart articulation to include. I just wish this panel would stay. Shoulder rotates around on a ratchet joint. There's a little hinge here, so you can lift that up, allow the shoulder to get out to the side, and allow you to, get that over the top. There's also this butterfly joint. So, that really works well. That's a nice design. So you can get it all the way across the chest. Rotation at the bicep. Single joint elbow gets you a little past 90 degrees, and there's a cover piece here, so that looks nice. The wrist can move in and out on a... Actually, no, that's not it. It's this joint here. So this wrist can go in and out. Thumb is on a pin, and then the fingers are on 2 pins. So the bottom 3 fingers are connected, but the top finger is separate, so he can point, which I think is important for a character like this. A leader should be able to point. So that's good. Continuing down, you have a waist rotation on a ratchet. You have an ab crunch. It's built in. It's got a soft click point here, so that works well. For the hip skirts, you have one on the front and the back, or front and the side. Leg will kick up to there on a ratchet. Back to there on a ratchet. Out to the side on a ratchet. I'll get the arm out of the way. The rotation of the thigh at a cut joint, I don't love how they did that. That could have been done a little bit cleaner, but it does work. For the knees, you have the full bend. That really works well. And you have, pistons in there. It just looks really good. I do like that. Coming down to the feet, you have a single jointed, literally, there's one click. That's straight, that's out. No forward and backward, and that's the limit of the side to side. So other than those feet, pretty good articulation overall. Now for the accessories, we get some option parts, and I'll start off with the body part option parts. So you have these, which will plug into the shoulders and give him a more anime look with those extended shoulder pads. I actually really like how that looks. So yeah, that option. You can also swap out the hands if you want the all blue hands instead of the blue and red. I prefer the blue and red, but if you rotate it like this, you can lift up on this panel. You can slide down on the hand, grab the new one, and this is going to tab in right here. So slide this up, and then close that back down, and then rotate it. And we'll do the other one just so it's consistent. So again, fold it up, open up this panel, slide this down, and then replace the hand. Make sure the tabs go in the right way, and then rotate. And there you have the blue hands. My personal preference definitely is the red and blue, but you do have the option there. We also get some head options here. So this is the default head. I think this is the toy head with blue eyes, and then you have the toy head with red eyes, which is more reminiscent of the original toy. You just slide the head forward, slide the new head back on, and now you have that. And then we also have this anime style head. You can see the head crest, the front of the cap sticks out a little bit further on this one, and the face shape is a little more rounded. I do like this. I think this is probably my favorite of the three. I think that head probably looks the best. Yeah. Then we go also get a bunch of weapons, and you've seen them before already, but of course we can put these on the shoulders. If you don't want them on the shoulders, you can put them there as well. But for the traditional look, we can pop those off and then put these on here. I think when I display this, I might actually put both. I might put the shoulder pads and then put these on the arms, but nice to have the options. We also get the bigger guns, which will tab into the hands. They're not the most secure thing, but they do work. So get this tabbed in. You can sort of close the fingers around, and there you go. You have that. And let's just give them both so it's complete. And then of course you can still use these blast effects here. And you can put them up here if you want, whatever. That works well. And we also still have the small guns. And for these, if you want, you could put them here, or you can store them back here, which I think makes more sense. You can just plug them on right here. And there's actually 4 ports there, so you can store a bunch of stuff if you want to. But yeah, I mean, this works. This looks pretty nice. And overall, I love when they think of storage for the weaponry, so that really works. Last bit here, we get this blast effect, which we had before. Again, you can still plug it in the gun if you want, or you can use that adapter piece to put it in the hands. I do really like the look of these blast effects. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the Magic Square version of Optimus Prime and the Studio Series 86 Prime. And we'll put that scale comparison there again. And once again, I think it's a little too small to fit in with a Masterpiece. It's just only slightly taller, whereas this one goes up to about his waist and it looks a lot closer to that scale chart. So I think this works, if you're putting it into your Chugs collection. And the last accessory you get here, and let's take out this because that looks silly, is this stand adapter. So if you come to the back here, there's 2 peg holes on his butt. So this will plug in perfectly right there. And then if you have one of the standard Takara stands. So final recommendations on the Takara Tomy Transformers MPG Super Ginrai. It's pretty good. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I recommend it. I think the combine mode is the strongest mode of the 3. It really is solid and looks good. Lots of nice display options, blast effects, weapons, and just overall display looks. I wish it did come with a flight stand. It's nice that it had the adapter, but it really should have come with a stand for that price. I think the weakest mode is probably the core robot mode, Ginrai. It's just a little floppy, and I have a little, misperfection or imperfection on the head. And that's not the greatest at this price point. You don't want to see that. Also, just overall, the joints just don't feel as good. This one definitely feels more solid. Vehicle mode works. It looks nice, but it is on the small side. And that is a disappointing thing about this figure. Overall, the size, I think they're trying to get us used to these smaller sizes. I get it. I understand it. They're trying to unify the lines, but it does feel like you're getting less for the same money. At $300 price point, $290, it does feel like that's a pretty high price point to be getting a chug scale figure. But it is well done. It's well made. I consider this to be kind of like a HasLab, right? It's that level. It's not quite what you'd get in a retail store, but it's not quite masterpiece either. It feels like a HasLab, $150 or $200 price point, I think would have made more sense. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.